What is up, guys? Welcome to this new video. This one will be a special one because it's finally time for the Q&A. I asked like a couple videos ago, so let's say about 2 weeks, to leave some questions on the post on my profile or below the video, and I've collected all of them to go and answer them today. Now, I thought it would be fun to have a nice format where I don't just like go over them and answer them, but, you know, make it a little bit playful. So I'll be doing my dailies, and after every daily I complete, I will answer a question. So, without further ado, let's get started with the first daily. By the way, I will butcher all the names in this video, so sorry if I mispronounce your name. I'm doing it to everybody, probably. So, yeah. Alright, let's start with our board dailies. We have to help allies. Actually, we can also just go do the zombie horde event. We will focus on the board dailies first. So, outpost control, anomalous rifts, circuit boards, pig apples, outpost control, more anomalous rifts, and helping allies. Alright. Okay, actually maybe we'll start with one of these then. Alright. Let's see. It's still a bit bright out, but otherwise it's also a bit dark. So, you know, it's better we see them too well. Alright, there we go. First daily complete. So, time for the first question. Inf Triangle asks, what got you into Stalcraft and when did you begin? Actually, my friend got me into Stalcraft. The one I sometimes play with, you might have seen his name in videos. He doesn't really like care about YouTube or anything, so usually don't really record his voice or anything, so you haven't really heard him, but you might have seen him walk in my videos. And he actually convinced me because he's a huge Stalker fan, and he was like, there's this great MMO based on Stalker, we should play it. I've actually I had never played Stalker, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. But then it turned out there were crates, and I was like, I can open crates for free? Well, you know, you just have to invest time. But yeah, I can open crates for free. So I was like, of course, yeah, I'm in. I can, you know, open crates. And that's actually how it got started. And yeah, now I'm in deep. I've honestly, the game scratches a certain itch in my brain no other game has. So I've just been playing ever since, I guess. Alright, let's get to the next daily. We can just do this one again because, you know, it still counts as a daily. While we're at it, we might as well do the camp as well. I think we need to clear like 3 of these to complete one daily. So this one doesn't count yet, but it's right next to the zombie horde. So, you know, might as well do that one. And I also see a proto discharge cluster there. Damn, they're coming from everywhere, and that lag spike was the end of me. Yeah, that was... My PC is not agreeing right now, as you can see. Oh, the camp has also respawned, so let's go quickly do that. Actually, I really like the color green for the NVG, but I've been noticing it does make it kind of harder to see if there's a lot of foliage because things blend in more. So I might change it to a different color at some point, to be honest. There's a second player here. We also have to do the plague pack. There we go. But yeah, anyway, we have completed another daily, of course, by clearing the horde again. So that means that we will answer another question. Or, well, in this case, I will answer another question. So, Guido XDD asked me a very similar question to the last one. What pushed you into Stalker-like games? Or maybe you have played another Stalker games like the original ones, Stalker Anomaly, Stalker Gamma, and etc. Oh, are you serious? This just despawned while I was in it? Okay, anyway. So yeah, I kind of like what I said earlier. My friend convinced me to play Stalcraft. That really pushed me into it. I've like in TV shows and, you know, that type of stuff. Oh, actually we can do this for our daily as well. Yeah, but anyway, sorry, in TV shows and stuff, I've also always kind of liked like the whole like post-apocalyptic like genre. So that was kind of a no-brainer for me in that regard. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, the crates kind of convinced me for this game, and then I got hooked. I had actually, like I said, never played Stalker, but I have by now I have started playing Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. I have played like 20 minutes and I haven't continued because I haven't really had the time, I guess, or made the time for it, because I really kind of want to like take my time to play it. But I was actually thinking maybe it would be cool to do a playthrough on it on the channel. So also let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in seeing a full Stalker game playthrough of like all the games of a total newbie, someone who has never played them like me. So let me know about that in the comments. Alright, so let's continue. This quest only counts obviously once I hand it in. So let's go do the abandoned installation now, since it's pretty close by. Alright, there we go. We've done 3 tasks. Oh, complete the zombie attack event. So I guess I have to answer another question. Oh, the zombie attack is the help scientist. Okay, yeah. I'm following. Alright, so on to the next question. It's going fast. This one is by a Brandonian. How long have you played Stalcraft and what is your favorite zone to play? I've played Stalcraft, I think in total for a little more than 900 hours. Well, that's what Steam says at least. And on this character I have like exactly 800 hours almost, I think, or like around 800 hours. This is my main character, and I have like 2 other characters that I have some hours on, but not a lot. And I started playing in, let's see, the 15th of April 2023, so a little more than 2 years ago. So yeah, I guess I've been playing for a little more than 2 years. I haven't been playing non-stop. I played a lot less in the beginning, but then once I got like hooked on it, I kind of got the feel for the game. And especially actually after the X update, I started playing a lot because I really liked how the game looked. So yeah, on to the next daily. Alright, let's do the Psycho Irradiated first, and then the Den. Right, well, we've already shot a little bit at this one. Let's go to the Den because somebody else is also on their way to clear it. Alright, there we go. Completed the zombie horde event again. I'm trying to find where this last NPC is. Oh yeah, there. Alright, so let's claim this quest. There we go. Alright, then the next question is from Caleb Pinto. What made you go with Rise? And if they make it that factions aren't bound to Bandit or Stalker, would you switch? So first of all, I went with Rise because, like I said, I hadn't played Stalker before, but you know, my friend had told me something like about the factions, and I had looked some things up, and he told me, and I saw from what I read that Rise was the most fitting for me personally, the way I am in real life, I guess, if that makes sense. I kind of fuck with Rise, so I thought that was fun. I was like, yeah, okay, that seems like people I would probably like get along with if they were real, you know, like that type of stuff. And if it would be possible to switch, I don't think I would. I do like that it's like, you know, this is my Rise character, you know, and this is the way I've played through the game for the first time. And I do have a Covenant character now, and I have another Stalker character which I'm gonna join duty with, so I don't actually mind it too much. I do like that I kind of have to make like new characters so I can have new experiences tied to those characters. So I don't think I would switch if they would allow it. Right, let's hand in the documents. There we go, so that's another quest complete. So the next question is by Fact Legends 3594. What is your favorite PvP gun? Love your videos. First of all, thank you. I'm very happy you appreciate my videos and you're enjoying them. My favorite gun, honestly, to PvP with, 100% the AK. Is just, it's in the barter tree, so it's easy to get, I guess. You don't have to like gamble for it or get crates, and it's absolutely amazing. Like genuinely, it is one of the best guns in my opinion. I'm actually thinking about making a grenade thing for under it, just to have some fun on Outpost, because I used to use the Hurricane and I really like the underbarrel grenade throwers. They're not that good, but they're just kind of fun to play around with. So, and you know, you can do that on the AK. The AK is just very versatile. So 100% the AK, especially for PvP. Alright, we're back onwards with the video. It's a new day, but you don't notice that, so it doesn't matter. Okay, that's great. Anyway, okay. Let's get on with it. I have to dig up some things here, so let's start with that. That's an easy one. Alright, there we go. We still have to hand it in for it to count, so, you know, we won't do that one yet. But let's go to another one we need to do, like the zombie horde. You know, same as yesterday, essentially. So let's head on over there and clear it. We also have to do plague pack, so yeah, honestly, we might also do that, actually. Right, there we go. We'll go clear out this camp first and then grab our reward. There we go. Alright, we got one more complete. Let's grab our reward and let's get to the next question. Oh, actually, we have to do this mud den as well. Let's do this first and then I swear I will answer a question. Right, let's go. Alright, so anyway, next question. Aryan8925 asks, which gun is better to grind at the bar? The AN94 or the AKM? As per the future guns, they help unlock and also with upgrades. Is higher RPM really important or the damage? So first of all, let's start by answering which one is better. I would say it really depends on your playstyle, to be honest. I would personally say the AKM is better because you have more options. Like, you could go for a PKP, you could go for an AK-15. You could technically, if you really want, go for an H12, which I wouldn't do, especially if it's your first gun, but you know, you have a lot of options. You can even go for the AMB, you can go for the VSS, which goes into the VSSK, obviously. So there's many options, or no, VSSM actually. Yeah, there's many options, so it kind of depends on your play style. The only reason you would go with the AN or with the AN94 is to get the A545, which essentially boils down to this one performs better at close range, and yeah, the AK-15, for example, performs better at long range. So it kind of just depends what you like. Overall, higher RPM doesn't necessarily mean better. It really depends on your playstyle, how you use it, and, you know, like other aspects of the gun, I guess, like the recoil and stuff. Because if you have higher RPM, it's going to be slightly harder to control if you have a very high vertical recoil, for example. So there's not one clear-cut answer. I would say if you're doubting between the A545 and the AK-15, for example, just ask yourself, do you prefer playing short range, so like really close combat, or do you prefer mid-range or maybe even long range? If you like short range, you can definitely go for the A545. If you prefer any of the others, then I think, especially for a first gun, the AK-15 might be the best one. Alright, onwards to the next daily. Let's see if there's some artifacts as well. Alright, we also have to do this event, so might as well do it right now. Oh, we completed another daily by doing that, so actually, there we go, a 2-for-1. Alright, there we go. Complete the zombie attack event. That's already 2 questions to answer. Quickly claim our reward. We actually have to do this one down here as well, so maybe we should do that actually, while I pull up the next question. There's a dog below me apparently. Right, then creative name 421 asks, how the hell do you make that amounts of money? I'm in the north as a merc and only have 870k lols. I just say, like, honestly, it really depends. There's a lot of ways to make money. You can really do a lot. I know, for example, going to labs or I think even Black Detour if you're a merc, and then doing a lot of like the events that reward gamma data frags can be very lucrative. Like, as you can see, you can get gamma data blocks from them, and those gamma data blocks can sell for a lot, like 90k at the fins, and I think 100k on the market, or maybe even more depending on how the market is. So that's definitely a good way. Outposts can yield some pretty lucrative rewards. Grinding Forge used to be pretty good. I don't know if the monetary reward is still good from that, but you know, there's a lot of ways to grind a lot of money. I think also finding good artifacts, like I'm trying to do now, can be a pretty decent way to make money, but you have to be quite lucky with it. But you can like get millions in one go. Same with doing like backpack runs, like the stashes. You can find things for the hideout that can be very lucrative, like equipment. They are down in price quite a lot right now, but still, you know, like if you're lucky, you can make a couple million. So there's definitely different ways to make money. Right, I don't know if you saw it, but so we had to answer one more question, I think. And then by doing the proto cluster, we actually completed another 2 daily quests. So we have to do 3 more, but this camp started shooting at me, which we also need to do. So, you know, I was like, let's clear this camp first so we can answer 4 questions in one go. All right, cool. So we completed that one as well. So 4 questions to answer. Yeah, okay, all right. Let me just quickly look here. All right, and then let me find a safe spot real quick. All right, that's a little bit safer. So onwards to the next question. Brandon Noble 15 asks, you think about making a tips and tricks video? Yeah, I'd love to. I have a playlist that I started with just the video on the saves in there for now, that I kind of want to make into a playlist of like guide on everything. But I definitely have a tips and tricks video that I'm like trying to work on. I'm writing out some things that could be cool to have in there. So I'm definitely down to make it. I'm actually kind of working on it already. So that's gonna come at some point. All right, so 3 more questions actually before we even continue doing dailies. What artifact builds are you using? Is asked by Misco5706. I can show you. I can literally show you right now. Currently, I'm mostly just using my speed build, which I do in the hive container. Wait, what am I getting hit? Okay, interesting. Anyway, so what I use is a spiral plus 15. Oh, that actually reminds me that I need to recharge them. Damn, okay, 25%. So I use a blue spiral plus 15, a green spiral plus 10, blue ambrite plus 15, blue heal plus 5, and pink ice hedgehog plus 10. Yeah, I do really, this is kind of my open world build right now. Like, it gives me quite a little bit of movement speed, some nice stamina regen, and some like pretty decent healing effectiveness, which I really like because, you know, you press healing and you just like zoom, your health bar goes full again. So I really enjoy that, especially in open world. And, you know, the carry weight, I'm a person who loves taking everything with me. You know, I love hoarding stuff, especially like I also take all the crafting materials just in case I'll need them at some point. You know, like I'm a bit of a digital hoarder. So yeah, and I'm actually working on my PvP build. I am using the Zivka's Arctic save, but I'm still working on that one. I don't actually have those arties yet. That's something for an upcoming video. All right, then another question by Mandan Singh Harat. I'm very sorry if I butcher any of your names. This is gonna happen again in the future. 6385. When are we quitting Stalcraft forever for our mental health? I'm not sure, but it scratches an itch that no other game does. So yeah, I don't know, dude. I wish I knew. All right, then the last one before we go back to playing. I'm going through the questions and I just realized I haven't answered the part of Brandonian's question of what's your favorite zone to play. Yeah, to answer that one, I kind of like a lot of the zones. I did not like the south that much, especially roadside and stuff. Not my jam. Okay, apparently, oh, it's the one that I shot at. Okay, I cleared out another mud then, so actually we do have one more question. But yeah. But I do actually really like the north. I've never played in the Old North, so I don't really have a frame of reference. but I do actually like the north kind, like right now. I don't really mind it too much, and I'm having like quite some fun here. So yeah, I do actually like the north. All right, so let's head back and hand in these circuit boards. All right, here we go, circuit boards. So that's another question. So let's get to the next question. Piston Zulechki 2137 asks, will you accept my friend request? Yes, I will, because you've been asking for a while. Here you go. There you go. I accepted it. All right. So let's sell everything and then get back to grinding. Okay, let's also kill this boss guy. There we go. That's another one we had to do. I think you have to kill 2 of them for it to count. Oh dang, we also needed to do that one, but we were too slow. We can go to the zombie horde, I guess. This is one thing I really dislike about the new system. I've already said this many times, but I don't get anything except maybe like material rewards, but I don't care about those. Like from clearing this, you know, give me at least 25 XP. I know I've been saying this, but give me at least 25 XP. Come on. Don't be so stingy, man. I've also completed the quest searching for artifacts. So on to the next question, I guess. Let me do this real quick before somebody else does it though. Alright, there we go. That's a second question we have to answer. Alright, cool. So first up, let's see. Let me put myself in a slightly safer position again. The next question is by Pablo. What are your computer specs? I've been wondering since sometimes you get those lag spikes and such. I have a really old computer. I've said this before in my videos. I don't even know by heart. I'm gonna be honest. I know it's old. I've had it for a hot while. But let me pull it up real quick so I can tell you in more detail. I have an i9 7400 CPU, so 7th generation. Not that, yeah, that's pretty old. I have 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and I have a GeForce GTX 1060 3GB, so that's a really old graphic cards as well. So yeah, I also only have like 1 gig of storage or something, like not a lot. It's a problem. Like I need to buy more storage soon just to make these videos, but it's fine, you know. I need to upgrade my PC at some point, but I currently just don't have the funds for it, which is, you know, that's life. That's the way it goes. So I'm gonna do a shameless plug right now. If you wanna support my work, you can always join the channel as a member. You get some nice cool perks right down below in the description. You can find a link, or just press the membership button. All that money goes towards the channel, like for example a new PC to record better videos, I guess. Yeah, shameless plug is over. I'm being shot at though, so I'm gonna have to shoot this NPC camp first before I will answer the next one. Why was he all the way over there? Oh, actually, I also need to do that. You know what? I'll do it. I'll answer the next question while I'm doing this. Oh, somebody's already doing this. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Oh, there we go. The mystery mutt that was somewhere got killed, so we've completed another daily. So let's get on with another question. So, Stupid Engineer 175 asks, do you think shrimp is tasty? IRL shrimp? No. I kind of don't really like anything from the sea. Most of the things from the sea just taste like seawater to me. I'm very sorry to break that to anybody who really likes things from the sea. I'm not a big fan. It just kind of reminds me of falling face first into the ocean and getting a mouthful of salty seawater. So no, I don't really necessarily like shrimp. However, this shrimp on the other hand looks amazing. No, I would eat this in a heartbeat. Yeah, of course. This shrimp, 100%. Real life shrimp, not so much. All right. So the next question is from MJKJGG79. He's been asking this question for a while, so I'm happy I will finally answer it. So first up, they asked me, how's the weather in your country? magician, a big bro, has a degree in yapology. Also, where you from? The magic man. And, you know, they asked gvccipoes where you're from, brother. I will start with the weather part. The weather in my country is kind of dog shit. Usually that's kind of like what people always complain about. Although I kind of feel like that's also in a lot of other countries. We have a lot of rain, a lot of gray days, not a lot of sun in the summer if we're lucky. We used to have snow, now not really anymore. We mostly just have a lot of rain for months on end. So yeah, that's how the weather is in my country. But now you're all wondering, I know you're on the edge of your seats, which country is it though? I'll tell you, you're never gonna guess it. I am from... Okay, I'm gonna try in YouTube to place an ad like right there. I'm sorry, but not sorry for that. That's kind of funny. I'm sorry, I did that on purpose. That if you got an ad right as I said that, I did that on purpose, and I'm sorry, but not really. But yeah, anyway, I'm from Belgium. It's a small country in I guess the west of Europe. I don't know, what are we known for? Like fries, I guess. Even though it's called French fries, it's actually from Belgium. It's a big thing here, big thing. We have waffles, chocolate. You know, there's the beer. We have a lot of beer. Probably Ziff would love it here. Yeah, I'm from Belgium. I have yet to meet any other Stalcraft player aside from my friend who's from Belgium. So that's pretty funny, I guess. We're a very small country, like 11 million people. Yeah, we're like right there on the map. I'll throw it on the screen right now. Yeah, as you saw, I also completed another quest while I was saying this. So let's go straight to the next question while we look for something else to do. In similar spirit, Hazwa1489 asks, are you Russian? Do you speak Russian? I know there's a little accent in your videos, but I can't pinpoint it. So yeah, no, I'm not Russian. I mean, I could be Russian and live in Belgium, but I am not Russian. I am just Belgian. So I actually do not speak Russian. Well, I mean, actually, I do kind of speak Russian, but very, very, very limited. I just picked up a couple words from like language learning apps, so bear with me. I'm very sorry for what you're about to hear, but yeah, I can say in Russian, I can say Привет, меня зовут gvccipoes, я бельгийский, как дела? That's probably horrible pronunciation, but you're welcome. You're welcome for that. As you saw while we were doing this, we completed another quest, so we can just go straight on to the next question, which is by Souls Hunter. What languages can you speak? I'm curious about it. Yeah, so I don't think we can consider that I speak Russian. I know like only a couple words, but my mother tongue is Dutch, so it's just like, well, technically it's Flemish, but it's like an accent of Dutch. It's a sort of dialect. I'm pretty sure it's not even its own language. So yeah, Dutch, like as in the similar language as they speak in the Netherlands, which is right next to us, very conveniently. I also know some French, because that's the funny thing about Belgium. Half of it is French, half of it is Dutch, but I'm horrible at it. I guess I didn't pay enough attention in school. And I've tried to learn Italian at some point. I can't really speak Italian. My Italian is slightly better than my Russian, I guess, but still not enough to consider it a language. Obviously, I can speak English, as you might have noticed. Yeah, my English is pretty decent, I guess. We consume a lot of our media in English here, so it's something you've kind of learned from when you were young. We also get it in school, so I guess that kind of helps. And I actually also study in English. But that's something we'll get to in the next question, which I also have to answer since we completed another daily. So this will be the last question, actually, by Tamid5018. Why don't you give us a little rundown about yourself? You know, basic info, nothing too specific. Yeah, so like I said, I'm from Belgium. I study in English, so you can kind of deduct I'm a student. I study at university right now, so I should be studying, but yet here I am making Stalcraft videos. I mean, it's fun, you know, like I try to have a healthy balance of both. So yeah, I'm a student. I study in Belgium as well. I am between 20 to 25 years old. I'm not going to give my exact age just because I'm like trying to think what else oh yeah, maybe what I'm studying. I guess that could be interesting. I used to study videography actually. So I used to have a YouTube channel before this actually in Dutch, but nothing's available anymore. Like it's all private. Don't worry, you can't find it. But that was like when I was way younger. So I guess that's where my passion came from. And I started playing this game and I was like, you know what, I can make YouTube content off of this. Like there's so many quests, that's mainly where it started, that don't have any like explanation, or so many things about the game that weren't clear to me when I was playing it. And I was like, I'll just record it and explain like what I have done or the information I know. It's kind of how it started. But I did have some experience with YouTube quite a couple of years ago. And right now I actually study essentially politics and communication. So I know quite a bit about like media and things, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. This is always something when I try to describe it to other people. I'm like, yeah, I know things about media and stuff, and also politics. So it's a bit vague, but I mean that's kind of it. And I know things about that. I study things about that. Don't think I'll explain my whole political opinion on here. I don't think that's a smart idea, because that's always a very divisive topic, so I won't go into that. But yeah, I don't know. I always find this hard. Like, tell us something about yourself. I guess one of my favorite foods would be pizza. I know it's pretty basic, but I really like pizza. You know, like most pizza. Like I don't really have a preference. I like most pizzas. Yeah, I'm trying to think of things, but I guess that's a short rundown of myself. If there's any other things you want to know, like maybe I'll remember them and then I'll answer them in another Q&A video if I do one of these again at some other cool milestone or something. Definitely a possibility. But yeah, anyway, that was it for this video. Thank you all so much again for 1,000 subs. It's honestly crazy. We're already above it, but still, it's super cool. Thank you all for the questions as well, to those that left some behind. It's always fun to hear what people want to know. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like. It was a bit different than usual, but I hope it was still fun to hear. If you want to watch some more Stalcraft content, you can click here on the left for some gameplay videos. If you want to watch some cool Stalcraft case openings, you can click here on the right. There's a new case opening, one that contains the last cases and stuff I opened in Act 1, coming out very soon, so you'll also be able to find that one there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the zone, stalkers.